G'day guys, David here, back again for step 3 in our influencer marketing, which is managing and developing those relationships with the influencers. Now, something that I wanted to touch on briefly from our previous session was basically reaching out to our influencers through Instagram directly. Now, as I mentioned before, not all of your influencers are going to have their emails clearly provided in their bios. So sometimes you're going to have to reach out to them directly on their Instagram direct message. So if you're going to do that, just basically make a shortened version of that script that we looked at last time so that you can fit it into however many characters Instagram allows you to have these days when you're sending Instagram messages, and send it through to them. What's great about that is that you can actually see straight away when they've seen it. So if they don't reply to you, you can either continue to harass them or even hit them up directly on their page and say, hey, listen, check your direct messages, which we've done before too for influencers that we really want to work with. So guys, just remember, you can reach them out on email, you can reach them out on Instagram direct message. With direct message, you can also follow them up with a post on their page saying, hey, check out your direct message, we've reached out to you. So you're sort of publicly displaying that that you've reached out to them. So sort of almost names and shames them in a sense to really follow you up. So with step 3, what we're going to do is actually look at managing these relationships. Now, prior to using InstaQuake, I used to use a spreadsheet like we've got in front of you. Now with the InstaQuake, and you can actually print off the report. So if I go back into InstaQuake here, I go to my dashboard, you can actually download a report. And it basically downloads all this onto an Excel or CSV file. And then I can just do a few more tweaks and add in extra columns. And then we've basically got a full CRM, customer relations management system of managing our influencers. So just for simplicity's sakes, because I've already got this all set up, I'm going to show you on this page here. But again, you can just add in the columns. If you're not familiar with Excel spreadsheet, find someone it's not that difficult to learn, or just YouTube a couple of clips on how to add in columns and play around with Excel, and you can create a sheet similar to this. So as you can see here, we've got all our Instagram names on the side here. So there is all the influencers that we're looking at approaching. I've actually got mine divided into pink for the ladies, blue for the guys, so that we can differentiate between males and females. And I've got a few columns along here. So we've got a few extra little columns here that just so that we can see briefly at face value where they fall into. So what country they're from and what their media interests are. Obviously, if you're in one niche, it's their, your primary, whatever that niche is. But for us, we started looking outside the fitness industry just to really, branch out and reach out other people in different channels. So some of the key areas that you want to really document down, which you'll get when you download that profile from InstaQuake, that report from InstaQuake. But you want to see what's their contact method. Is it Instagram direct message, or is it email, or both? What's their followers, engagement level? Now you don't need to, because you don't need to know all that stuff, because again, InstaQuake gives you all this information. This is the manual process that I used to do. Now InstaQuake does it all for you. It's fantastic. The status. Now what we've got here is I basically put down, is the status in regards to have we contacted them, or have they become a partner with us? Now a partner is someone that's willing to work with us as an influencer. Contacted basically means that we've contacted them and we're waiting for a response. Now you might see a few other little areas if I scroll down. And as you can see, not all of them get back to you. It's a hard slog. Sometimes they don't really get back to you straight away. So you've either got to stay on top of them, or you just sort of wipe it off. But we get a fair few partners. But sometimes we get declines as well. People knock us back, which you can't. I don't actually have any there. So anyway, other information that we record here, guys. If I scroll along, is their contact. Their name, their last name, their street address, or street name, so we basically put their whole address down. We try and get as much information as possible. Their country, their zip code, their phone number, their email address, or any extra comments that you want to include with about that person. Hey, if they've offered you some prices, or they've got a schedule that they normally do, or they can't post for this long. So there's extra comments that you want, when realistically this could all be recorded in a CRM, but this is the way for yourself or whoever's doing your influencer marketing for you, just to really get a brief capture or an overview of the influencers that you're dealing with. Other important things as well to take note is products that you've sent them, and also your order ID, the date sent, and the tracking number, because these are all important things as well. Because what we found in the past is that, initially when we first started doing influencer marketing, we were like, yes, we're excited. These influencers want to work with us, and we send them a product and we leave it at that. And then, we get a week later, we get an email from the influencer saying, hey, listen, where's our tracking number? Where's this? Where's that? And then we're going to go back through and dig it all up for them. So on the front end, if you have someone managing it, or if you manage it yourself and you record all that information down from the get-go, just like you would with any other customer that comes onto your, purchases from your website, it just makes the process so much more easier. So again, guys, you can just use a spreadsheet similar to this, create something really simple that you can manage all the information of your influencers. Or if you really want to take it to the next level, you can get some sort of CRM. You could use something like Podio or some other, CRM that, helps you record like customer information, and essentially you're treating them like customers. Now, another thing I really want to step on as well, and this is taking influencer marketing to that next level, is really monitoring and managing the return on investment that these influencers get for you. Now, it's one thing sending them a product and asking them for doing a shout out, and then you get that brand awareness, and you may build up your page numbers a little bit, and you may make some money. But you really want to see, how much money is this influencer making from you or for you off their shouts. So if you can, and you have the ability to, if not, look it up, if you can create a specialized link, which we call UTM parameters. So it's basically a link that you can create, which is trackable in the back end through Google Analytics. And then you offer that link to your influencers to use as a post when they're posting on Instagram or Facebook or whatever it may be. And furthermore, if you can offer them a discount as well. And what I mean by that is say, hey, I'm the influencer, David, and I post on my page and I say, hey, XYZ products, is fantastic. I've used it and I swear by it. So I'm giving you a shout out. If you want to buy it too, you can get 10% off by using my link, which is XYZ products /influencer's name. And basically when the customers that they're promoting to, or their fans that they're promoting to, fans and followers, click on that link or use that link and then redirect it to your website and purchase from it, Google Analytics will track it on the back end, and they'll actually monitor the return on investment or that revenue earned by that influencer promoting that link. So you can really start to monetize the efforts that your influencers are making for you, or the money that the influencers are making for you. And this is really important to weed out the influencers that are, doing good for you and the influencers that aren't doing so well. Because at the end of the day, we only want to really work with the influencers that we're getting a return on investment from, whether that be return on investment with finances, so revenue, where we're getting a return on investment by building our pages and our social awareness and our branding. So they're important things. They're key metrics that we really need to look at. Is they making money for us? And we can do that by those trackable links, UTM parameters through Google Analytics, and or we can do that by our pages getting built? So we're getting increased numbers, and are we getting increased exposure? So some more things to consider when it comes to influencer marketing. Again, that's the next level of influencer marketing. At this stage, let's just start reaching out. Let's start recording the information down of these influencers and start building that relationship with them by, having that two-way communication with them, sending a fantastic product that they love, and ideally getting some good reviews so that you can actually use the posts that they post on their sites so that you can use as testimonials on your own site. Okay, guys, look forward to touching bases with you in the next module, which I believe we're just going to look through some hints and tips that I can share with you from my, experiences of influencer marketing over the years. Speak soon.